Hello, everyone. My name is Aaron Hutchinson, and so I'm gonna start off with just saying, "Hey, everyone." Today, I want to talk about my experience navigating a difficult workplace conversation as part of our simulated assignment. For my scenario, I chose the situation where I had addressed poor work performance as a team leader in a customer service department. So, in this case, one of my team members Alex had recently started missing deadlines, submitting reports with multiple errors. This was starting to affect the workflow for our whole team because other members had to spend extra time correcting the mistakes before they could be submitted to the management. The challenge here was that Alex had previously been reliable and a strong contributor, so I needed to approach the conversation carefully, addressing the performance and concerns without embarrassing them or triggering being defensive. I wanted to maintain professionalism while also showing and support empathy. Before the conversation, I thought about the emotional dynamics involved. Jordan might have been as feeling as well, stressed, overwhelmed, or frustrated with themselves. They could also feel embarrassed or worried about their job security, especially since the deadline and the decline in the performance was out of character. At the same time, I had to consider the team perspective. Other employees were starting to feel frustrated with the extra work, and my responsibility as a leader to maintain productivity. Balancing those emotions was key preparing for this discussion. And when I started having a conversation, I focused on several communications. First, I used active listening. I asked open-ended questions. Can you tell me more about what's been going on? And really gave Alex space to share his perspective. This helped me understand the root of the problem that made him feel harder and rather than criticized. Second, I emphasized empathy. Um, where Alex explained that they were feeling overwhelmed with both work and some personal matters. I acknowledged, the feelings instead of ignoring them or jumping straight to criticism. This seemed to help them be more comfortable and less defensive, which turned into made the conversation more clear and more productive. Also maintained professional and calm tone, in my opinion, throughout. Even though the performance issues were affecting the team, I made sure to stay composed and be objective. I avoided making judgments to one another or assumptions, so I could focus on the behaviors and examples. But reflecting on the experience, I learned that if you approach a difficult conversation, completely change the outcome. You know, if I were to do this in a real workspace, I might prepare even more by having specific examples and an action plan ready to ahead of time, so I can go in there and know what I'm talking about, what I want to go into that conversation talking about as well. Overall, this exercise has helped me realize how much emotional intelligence, active listening, and thoughtful communication matters in a professional interaction. Thank you so much for watching.